The educational system needs to prepare learners for today's workplace. In the past, students could be trained to be productive workers through knowledge acquisition and dutiful obedience. But now, students need to be problem solvers and collaborators. Because of that, our approach to education needs to evolve. This video will explain what student centered learning is and the learning theories that are the basis of it. It will also provide some realistic ways student centered learning can be applied in the high school environment. By creating a more student centered environment at the high school level, we can prepare our students for 21st century learning and careers. Let's begin. Unlike traditional models that focus on what instructors and administrators deem important for learners to understand, student centered learning prioritizes the learner's goals when it comes to education. It is a broad term that can involve different strategies and approaches. Student centered learning incorporates the student's skills and interest in the learning process. It also gives students an opportunity to learn on their own timeline. Regardless of how you define it, student centered learning gives students more control over what they learn, when they learn, and how they learn. Student centered learning has its roots in established learning theories, including constructivism and connectivism. Constructivism is a theory developed by John Piaget and Vygotsky and others that states students learn best on their own by their own experiences. It is broken up into cognitive constructionism and social constructivism. In cognitive constructivism, the focus is not necessarily on right or wrong, but the meaning that is being constructed by the individual. In social constructivism, students learn through social and cultural interactions. In a student centered learning environment, students can construct a worldview that is more broad based and collaborate on solutions, since each person will bring a knowledge that another student might not have. Connectivism is based on the idea that networks around us, whether human or digital, send information to us to put out. These connections can be in person or created through the use of technology. Connectivism focuses on the growing use of technology and how it allows us to share ideas and gain information. Things like discussion boards, video hosting sites, and online encyclopedias all create greater access to opinions, ideas, and facts. Connectivism embraces technology as a way for students to gain more knowledge and connect to people and information they are excited about. Because there is so much access to information and other people, students can also go beyond what is expected of them and gather new information. When students are excited and invested in what they are learning, they are more likely to be engaged and produce better outcomes. Students need to have a vested interest in what they are learning, and connectivism allows for that in student centered environments. While it may be impossible to create a fully student centered environment, given the requirements of state and local governments, there are a number of things we can do to create a more student centered environment. Creating differentiated assessments, teaching teacher empathy, and having more teacher designed electives are all things that can be practically done to create a more student centered environment at a high school level. To create a more student centered environment, teachers can provide alternative ways of showing mastery of information so that students can choose assessments that are better geared towards their individual skills. For example, in a history class, some students may want to show mastery of a topic such as the Cold War by taking a test, while others may want to demonstrate it by producing a video, and others may want to create political cartoons. Getting teachers to think along these lines will require training on how they can adjust their perspectives and require time to collaborate with colleagues to update and differentiate their assessments. In a student centered environment, teachers need to understand the various backgrounds, experiences, and challenges each student is facing. Connecting with students on a human level and getting to know their interest will create bonds that will allow teachers to tailor learning and assignments towards individual students. Likewise, traditional norms of firm due dates and point deductions for late work need to be reevaluated. Allowing more flexibility on academic timelines will alleviate some pressure and allow them to focus on academic quality rather than just getting work done. This can be done by amending policies that de escalate and remove minor infractions that often create a source of contention and replacing them with policies that are more flexible. By having more teachers be responsible for the creation of their own elective courses, we can broaden the offerings available to students in high schools and provide more options for students to take classes that suit their needs and goals. Students will also have the option of taking more courses with teachers who they feel a connection to. These courses should be designed with student centered philosophy in mind, and since they are not held to the same standards as core educational classes, should allow for more flexibility in pacing and assessment. More than ever, it is important to reevaluate our teaching strategies and recognize what is needed for student success now and in the future. By giving students in high school more control over their learning, they will be more motivated, more engaged, and will retain more and will produce better outcomes. Foundational learning theories such as constructivism and connectivism support the use of student centered learning and show that its use is supported by research. Things like differentiating assessments, creating more course options, and greater understanding of students on a human level are practical adjustments we can make to give students more ownership of their learning. It will take teacher buy in, training, and time for them to feel comfortable making these changes. But with guidance and collaboration, they will be able to see the classroom differently. Change is always going to be uncomfortable, but the cost of not changing is too great to ignore.